welcome to the Genuine Learning Blog. My name is Melissa Glasso, and today we're going to talk about a new Q&A that has come out from the AICPA addressing not-for-profit entities. And so this is the definition of direct care of collection items. So on the blog earlier last year, we talked about the proposal related to the definition of collection, and in early 2019, in March, the FASB issued their 2019-03 related to the definition of a collection. Well, in there, they added the words direct care, and there were a lot of questions that popped up as a result of that, and the AICPA is tackling that head on. So, Q&A section 6140, not-for-profit entities, is going to address the definition of direct care of collection items. So a little bit of a background here. So this was an inquiry, and it says FASB ASU number 2019-03, updating the definition of collection, requires that the use of proceeds from collection items that are sold to be used for the acquisition of new collection items, the direct care of existing collections, or both. And so basically, when we looked at the policy, there are certain requirements that you have to meet in order to be a collection, right? So there is a definition of a collection, and they updated the definition to talk about if you sell a collection item, that it still could meet the definition if it's used to acquire new collection items. That's been the same, but also the direct care of existing collections. And that was not included in the original definition. So if you were to sell a collection item in the past, it had to be used to purchase a new collection item. Now, under this standard, it permits the use of that fund for the direct care of existing collections. And the question was, what type of expenses would be considered direct care? Well, why is this so important? Well, as a little bit of a background, if you meet the definition of a collection, you have 3 different alternative policies that you can follow for reporting that collection. You could treat it just like you would any other asset and capitalize all your collection items. You could have a stated date and capitalize all of the items prospectively, or very popular, you don't have to capitalize your collection items, including these priceless works of art, trying to value them and maintain them on the financial statements for a lot of nonprofits, especially museums, didn't make a lot of sense. And so as a result, this gives them an option to not have to capitalize it. If you don't meet the definition of a collection, then you are required to treat it as any other PP&E, and you have to capitalize the asset. And so as a result here, when they were looking at this, especially if it's donated, because it has to be donated, you have to value it at fair value. You tell me the fair value of the Mona Lisa. And so as a result, when they were going through this, the definition of a collection has a really big impact on what accounting treatment you can have. And because they changed the definition, the big issue was, as you can see in the reply that the AICPA gave, is that the term direct care is not defined in the accounting standards. So they had talked about potentially doing it and ultimately decided not to. And so in the basis for conclusions, FASB indicated that an industry should be able to determine what it considers direct care rather than FASB determining a policy within GAAP for what constitutes direct care. So basically, FASB threw it back to the nonprofit world, and the AICPA, who has a not-for-profit expert panel, picked it up to provide a little guidance. And so when an entity determines which costs are considered direct care of collection items, important characteristics to consider, but are not limited to, whether the costs enhance the life, usefulness, or quality of the collection, provide a benefit to the collection, not the entity as a whole or other areas of the entity beyond the collection, and exclude expenditures that are regular and ongoing in nature, such as routine maintenance of the collection. So direct care is not just routine maintenance. It is truly above and beyond care of the existing items. And so if you want to stay within the definition of collection and you want to use it for due care, the AICPA is giving us a little guidance that FASB chose not to when they issued ASU 2019-03. So for those of you who have museums or have collections of arts in your not-for-profit, universities have a lot of these. Zoos actually treat some of their animals as collection items. The update here is going to provide you just a little bit more guidance on what does it mean to have that direct care. All right, that's it for this week's Genuine Learning Blog. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you on a future blog. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.